Alright, what is good, everybody? It is your boy Ora. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys the infamous mixing and mastering tutorial. I know a ton of people have been asking for this for some reason. I'm making this by popular demand. I never really thought I was going to be making something like this. Most of your beats is really just leveling. So this tutorial is really just going to be based off of leveling, because that's how you really, quote unquote, mix your beats. So I'm about to show y'all how to do this. So here we got the beat. I'll play the 4-bar real quick. Should have played the 8-bar, but that's fine. Alright, so it's a very simple mix. I would consider this to be a decent mix. Like, it's not that bad of a mix, you know what I mean? Everything's hitting, everything is leveled correctly, you know what I mean? I can't say there's any specific like decibel range of where everything should be. I'm just saying, like, you'll know if it's mixed correctly, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna give y'all basically a few tips here. So first thing, GM88 said this himself, is that your melody should always be behind your drums. Okay, if your melody is in front of your drums or overpowering your drums, this is what it'll sound like. You feel? You see how, like, the drums, it's just the melody is kind of like just impacting how the drums hit. You want to make sure that your melody is always behind the drums. Your melody is always, you know, in the back. Definitely a lot like lower than your drums. Now, if you actually did purchase my new drum kit, the Ora's drum kit volume 2, I decided to release this. But I got 3 masters here, so if you actually want to, if you want to figure out how to get your shit hidden, use the masters in my drum kit. So this is what it sounds like now. See, everything's hitting, right? Now, I don't have any like special plugins on anything. I don't have anything that's like, making things hit more than others, other than I have a distortion and a little 808 or EQ, which literally does nothing. It would still hit the same. This, I don't even have it on. Shout out Supply for these settings, but it's very, very simple. Alright, so I'll give y'all like a solo. I'll solo these sounds up. So as you can see, you'll probably hear it in a lot of beats. A lot of people's 808s are normally they like to push their 808s to the limit without them clipping, and they like to make them very loud. Normally, I don't like to make my 808s like extremely loud to where it just sounds out of place. I don't really like doing that kind of way. I definitely like my 808s loud. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like them being extremely loud. So for me, I keep my 808s, I think I keep them around the same volume as my kick. Alright, my kick is basically practically as loud as the 808. You see how they're both hidden, just next to each other. You can turn it down a little bit. And kick should basically be hitting at the same level. That's how your kick and 808 clash, and they hit very well together. Because I don't know if that's a bad thing. I know some people think it's a bad thing when your 808 and kick clashes. I like when it it really punches. You'll hear it. You can hear it right now. You can definitely hear how it's like just punching through. See that? So the clap, you want it to be loud, but not too loud to where it's in your ear. Prepare for like a headphone. You see if it's that loud, like hell no. The snare should always be under your clap. That's how you get them to sound good. If it's over your clap, it sounds like shit. It's definitely gotta be under your clap. Your hi-hats, I know a lot of people get this confused. A lot of people think that your hi-hats are very annoying and you want to keep them low. That is definitely not true. You want to keep them under your 808 and kick, but you want to have them loud too. Because if they're too low, like, nothing is going to hit. Your 808 and kick isn't going to hit. Like, the hi-hat is also what gives the 808 and kick that boost, and what actually makes it sound like it's really hitting. your hi-hats are that bounce, you know what I mean? If it's so low, like there's no bounce in your beat. Trust me, it's not a bad thing if your hi-hat is loud. If it's this loud, yeah, that's a bit of a problem because shit will start to distort and stuff, so you don't really want it that loud. But like, it's definitely not a problem if your hi-hats are, you know, in there punching through the mix and, you know, being where it's supposed to be. Moving on to perks. Perks are very, very simple. You don't want them being too loud. You don't want them being too quiet either. Okay, so you do want to make sure that the perk is in there hitting, but it's also not extremely loud. You see how it's in there, but it's not like that's just too loud. So I recommend keeping it at like normal volume. Basically, just make sure it's under your hi-hats and clap. Okay, like that's like a perfect volume right there. Alright, like I said, it's really all by ear. So for your open hats, you don't want to be too loud, but you also don't want to be too low. If it's like this, like that's cool, but it doesn't really sound like it's even there. It's not punching through the mix. So you want to keep them under your clap. You want to basically keep them under all your drums, like even under your perks. You don't want it to be too loud. So yeah, that's that. If you want to, you can put like EQs on it. You can take the lows out if you want. It will definitely help punch through the mix. If you bring up that high, it'll punch through those hi-hats. For perks, same thing. Snare. The snare is, I mean, it's just like a snare. In this case, I'm using it as a perk. I'm using the snare as like a background perk. You see it's right there. So I'm kind of using that as like a background perk. So you can basically put it at the same volume as the perk. But yeah, man, guys, that is gonna wrap up this tutorial. By the way, if you want your hi-hat sound crisp and clean, go use the hi-hat master in my new kit. Edge on fire. Alright, go use that. But yeah, man, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Definitely go cop my new drum kit. It would mean a lot if y'all did that. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the New Era channel. Follow me on Instagram at prod_by_ora. Follow New Era on Instagram at @1newera. Join the New Era Discord. It'll be in the description below. Go cop my new kit. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.